Good afternoon. My name is Jacqueline, and today we are going to be, I'm going to be talking about airborne illnesses from foods, um, and also known as food poisoning. Americans are twice as likely to get foodborne illnesses, also known as food poisoning, from food prepared and eaten at restaurants, um, as compared to food that's prepared and eaten at home. And that number has been consistent for years. I want you to always follow the recommended procedure to avoid or eliminate the risk of contracting food poisoning while you're at home or you're patronizing the restaurants. There are two current possibilities for contracting foodborne illnesses, and that's from your own refrigerator or from a restaurant kitchen. Um, BetterHealth.org, .gov.au, they did a 10-year study, and they reported out that um, over a 10-year period, they found a total of 1,610 outbreaks of food poisoning that um, were from the restaurant, and it had sickened about 28,000 people. But this compared to 893 cases that they found that originated in the home, which affected uh, about 13,000 folks got sick with that. Um, Salmonella, let's talk about a couple of three or so of the illnesses that you may contract, and that's salmonella. And salmonella you pick up from raw meats. That could be beef, chicken, poultry, turkey. It could be eggs, unpasteurized milk, and also fruit juice from vegetables and fruits and vegetables. E. coli is, we hear about that. We hear lettuce is recalled all the time, lots of time, and it could be sprouts, and that is also a contamination via water. There's neurovirus. Neurovirus are leafy vegetables, fresh fruits, shellfish. It includes shellfish, and shellfish could be oysters, um, and even fish, um, and contaminated surfaces. From touching contaminated surfaces. The symptoms are usually upset stomach, cramps, nauseous, vomiting, diarrhea, and fever. Again, let's repeat. We know what the high risk foods are: raw meats and raw vegetables, and eggs, and some unpasteurized milk. So, what do you want to think about when you go into a restaurant? The first thing you want to do, and here I live here in Sacramento, California, and it has this wonderful system where you can look before you even walk through the door. If it has a green card, then it means it's perfectly safe. It's great food safety. It's also the food for maintenance is great. If it's a yellow card, that means that it has conditions, and they give them a time in order to complete those conditions before they shut them down. Red cards means it's closed, so you're not going to get through the door anyway. Once you get in, and you are greeted by your server and seated, the one thing you want to do, excuse yourself and go to the bathroom. If the toilet is not clean, then you want to return to your table, and you want to let your server know that you're not going to be eating there on that particular evening. Leave. Um, if that's not the case, you want to look around. Make sure that you do not see food raw and uncooked and cooked foods that are being prepared in the same location. You want to run out of there if you see that. Look at the surfaces, make sure they're clean. If they're not clean, run out of there. If you see them with a wet towel wiping from one table to another, run up out of there, okay? Um, uh, Again, inspect those toilets, and sanitation and cleanliness is the best thing here to avoid. Um, for home, there are four basic food safety things that you can do. Make sure you always have wash your hands with soap and water. You have clean hands. Your surfaces are clean. Separate your foods. Always cold prepared from raw. Um, Temperature. Make sure hot is hot and stays hot, and cold is cold. So when you get those vegetables or whatever that needs to be stored in the refrigerator, make sure that they're in there and they stay in there until you use them. Don't cross contaminate. Get your two chopping boards, one for meats, one for vegetables. Don't cross contaminate. So if you're out and you get food poisoning, the first thing you want to do is you want to contact your local health department. If you want to call food safety as well, and that would be your fda.gov.org, and all of this information is on fda.org. I pulled it off. And if you have a problem with eggs or poultry, then you want to call the USDA.gov. That's where I've gotten the information. And if it's non-meat products, call the Food and Drug Admin, and then that's the FDA.gov.org. Conclusion: always make sure that you follow good food safety. Food prepared and eaten at home is much better to eat, much better for you. You're twice as likely to contract foodborne illnesses from restaurants if you do not follow the recommended guidelines. Um, and at home, follow those guidelines as well. I'm going to send you away with a guide that you can take home to keep your kitchen safe. And again, I'd like for you to adapt to lifestyles that include the opportunity to prepare and eat your food at home most of the time. This will reduce the risk even further. Thank you and have a great day.